Extract from the diary of Dieter. I had the owner show me around. I don't trust him. However, I don't trust this situation. There is indubitably more going on here. I suspect the priest's suspicions are correct about a thieves' guild in the area. It's probably filled with short-assed halfling bastards like our one. I, of course, checked the floor under the carpet, and of course there was a loose floorboard, which I found housed a lever. The owner said he didn't know anything about it. I, of course, did not believe him, and as I pulled the lever, I heard a click come from behind the wardrobe. With some effort, Dieter and Tristram were able to lift the wardrobe aside to reveal a door. Tristram sighed.
Always behind a bookcase, fireplace or wardrobe. People are lacking in imagination these days, don't you think, Dieter?
Dieter was busy lighting a lamp, but forced himself to reply. Those are not the best places when they are overused so much. I would have chosen something a little more inconspicuous.
You sound like you've done this before,
the warrior priest stated, sounding slightly suspicious of the man in front of him. Dieter smirked, but didn't reply, and just motioned the owner of the house to go first. He knew this man was in on whatever was going on here, and he intended to find out what it was. Extract from the diary of Rysandria, Day 41. I worry about what we will find here. I am also worried about Dieter. He seems really on edge today, more so than usual, that is. Tristram is very relentless in the same way as Malvanius was, but he possesses a kinder spirit than the witch-hunter captain, although I would not want to be the subject of either one of their investigations. Extract from the diary of Dieter. We made our way down a passageway on a slight incline that slowly began to level itself out as we progressed. As we got further down, we began to hear the sound of voices and sharp instruments on stone. Rysandria commented that it sounded like dwarvish pickaxes. I do not know how she would know such a thing. Extract from the diary of Maestro.
Dieter and Rysandria are taking their time. I prefer to get this out of the way as quickly as possible. If I could, I would have already left Middenheim and been on my way somewhere else. This city has too much in the way of troubles with gods, be they good or evil. Give me an engineering workshop any day over an altar.
Extract from the diary of Rysandria. We came across a small cavern at the end of the tunnel. In this cavern we found 5 men dressed in black outfits, who I suspected were thieves. Also there were 3 dwarves, chains on their wrists and ankles. This was of an even greater surprise to me. Extract from the diary of Dieter. Halfling or dwarf, it does not matter to me. They are both runty blowhards in their own right. I did enjoy seeing them chained up, though. Although, judging from the look on the girl's face, it appears I may have to deal with this situation before she gets herself hurt. She cannot heal me if she is healing herself. Dieter sighed and took a step forward, lantern in one hand and machete in the other, pointed threateningly at one of the men. Answer my questions and I might consider healing you when I'm done. The men looked at each other and, realizing they outnumbered their foes, drew their weapons. Dieter shook his head and smirked as he placed the lantern on the floor. Tristram turned to the man that had led them down here.
Still going to deny that you know what is happening here?
One hand reached for the great sword on his back, as the other was channeling a spell. The arcane words poured from his lips and hung there for a moment, like quickly melting frost relieved by a summer's day, which was taking longer than it ought to because of the plate that covered him. Armour interferes with the winds of magic that surround a spellcaster, making it more difficult to focus on weaving the winds and performing the required incantation physically. Within a few moments of pause, the thieves, who thought nothing was happening, decided to rush the group. As they made their way forward, one of their number suddenly stopped, as if he was pulled back by invisible chains. Dieter raised an eyebrow.
"That sword just for show, then, priest?"
He had plunged his scalpel into the shoulder of one of the other men, rendering his arm temporarily unusable as he dropped his sword. Olga bit the ankle of another man, making him fall to the ground where a more delicate target on the man's body had presented itself. Lysandria, of course, had very little means to fight the thieves off with, other than her quarterstaff, as her pistol redemption was only to be used on those that were truly corrupt to their very soul. She parried the man that had swung his club at her and smacked him around the back of his head with her quarterstaff. Fortunately, this was all that was needed to knock the man out. The last of the 5 thieves tried to make a run for it, but was stopped as the blade of Tristran's sword was at his throat.
"You can't run from justice," he started. "Verena may be blind, but we priests are her eyes."
His voice made it seem like there was nowhere to run or hide.
"Listen, I'll tell you everything."
The fear in the thief's voice was noticeable as he began to back up, only to walk into Dieter. Extract from the diary of Dieter. "That was a good workout, to say the least, and we found out that these thieves were digging a tunnel into the temple of Myrmidia. A foolish idea to try and rob a temple. Maestro will not be pleased to hear we need to get involved in more religious matters. Neither am I, however." Extract from the diary of Maestro.
"About time those 3 got back. Apparently this house is a base for the thieves. I knew this would be more trouble than it was worth. Getting involved in religious matters again. Now it seems we need to find the guild headquarters. I think the man outside would be able to lead us there. Dieter seems more agitated, however, and he seems to be regularly eating some sort of biscuit from what I can tell."
Extract from the diary of Lysandria. With a little bit of trickery, Dieter was able to capture the thief hiding in the alleyway outside, and also gain information for us to find and enter the thieves' guild. I hope this goes well, for fighting an entire guild of thieves and possible assassins perhaps could spell even more trouble for us in the long term. I pray to Shalia that she shows compassion and mercy upon our small group." Extract from the diary of Tordrad.
"Bah! Thieves! Cowards that live in shadows, no better than men of chaos! Now they try to steal from temple. They asking for divine wrath. We are to track down their guild. I not know what priest plans to do to them, but I expect it to be good fun."
Extract from the diary of Tobias.
"Damn these robes. I don't know why I even have them on. It makes it harder to move about and actually hide effectively, since they stand out so easily. Perhaps I can take control of this guild we're tracking down. It would be a good start to my plans in the future. In any case, we found the building without much trouble. It was decided that I was to climb up to the top and sneak my way in. An easy task, but Maestro decided he should try flying up to join me, a feat he kept failing at miserably. I fail to see why he is a wizard sometimes."
Extract from the diary of Maestro.
"Just when I think I'm getting the hang of this spell-casting lark, a new hurdle gets in my way. I feel like the winds of magic are constantly shifting around me, as if trying to avoid me at times. Was it something I said? It is annoying to say the least, but I don't have to worry about Tobias writing it in his book during the night, which is probably for the better, as I believe he has only written down my failures rather than successes. Saying that, even nighttime Tobias is as verbally displeased with me. You would have thought I would stand a chance with the alter ego at least."